Indie animation is exploding in recent years, it's even giving a fight to mainstream media, and this video is a way for me to show more animation that are worth watching, but more to know what is the true best pilot to an indie animation. 284 million people saw it, but size does not mean quality. There are 7 characters in one episode, and each one of them have time to shine, and there was not one character that felt unrelated. Of course, there is a greater focus on certain characters, but secondary ones don't feel unnecessary. The story is quite simple, as it should be. You don't need to bombard the viewers with crazy stories because 9 out of 10 it's not going to work. The main focus is mainly to introduce the character to the world and above all to show the amazing animation that is very different from the competition, that give access to the larger audience. And it's really good, but how is it compared to Spooky Month? The show was made by Serpello, who created a really good show with an excellent animation, fun characters and legendary humor. I am not gonna talk about any of that. In the video, I'm only going to talk about the pilot, and in our case, it's the episode name, it's Spooky Month, and it presented a mediocre animation compared to the other shows here. Pilot that is just the 2 kids running from a place to place saying it's Spooky Month with the same continuous tune. Good to know the show was always funny, but you can't really compare it. Our next candidate Hazbin Hotel, and I know it's no longer an indie animation, but then what I will put in the top. I mean, it started like one, so I'm only going to talk about the pilot and not about the new stuff, so it's fine. The pilot is 30 minutes long and it's one of the longest there is, and in those 30 minutes they are putting so much content and it doesn't harm the episode. Everything feels balanced, the character, the story, the humor, the action, they even managed to squeeze a song, and I really don't have a major problem with it. And I guess I'm not the only one because the show has become real, and who is the one to give it a fight? Cliffside. Come on, at least give it a chance. Actually, this is the first time I'm going to watch the show, so it was really good. We are introduced to this guy who is a criminal in the Wild West era, and we go from one scene to another that introduced a new character, a new enemy, the embodiment of death, and the episode can feel messy, but it adds up because the show itself doesn't take itself seriously at all. The animation was the weaker side because sometimes it looks really good and sometimes not, but the visual effect was by far one of the best I've seen, and it makes up for the animation so much. And the truth is that choosing who will go to the next level was more difficult than I thought, because even though Hazbin Hotel is better on paper, I enjoyed Cliffside much more. Hazbin tried to be a story that taken seriously, but it fails miserably. But at the end, I will give the point to Hazbin Hotel, because I was just finishing watching Cliffside and I'm still hyped about it, so I don't want to say one thing and then regret it later. The next one, Saena. The episode introduced the 3 main characters who hardly did anything. The episode is only 2.5 minutes, and apart from presenting a little bit of the characters and some jokes, there isn't much here. And the same can be said about the next contestant, Ramshackle, because they don't even have a pilot. Let me explain. This is a show that I've been personally following since she wrote the script, and she announced a few months ago that she would soon upload the full pilot to YouTube, and comparing them to the other animation in the same world, I'm really looking forward to see it. But according to my own rules, I don't have anything to judge, so Saena goes to the next level. And the last contestants are Lackadaisy and Helluva, the 2 big guns that everybody knows about, but it's very difficult to compare them because they are very different shows. One is a comedy that doesn't take itself seriously with a currently shallow story and characters, and the second is a more serious show with an excellent story, deeper character, and there is the serious risk. But if the pilot was as funny as the quality of Lackadaisy, I would probably have a harder time to choose.
But Lackadaisy is going to win?
Yes. The animation, the action, the story, the characters, everything is just so good. What Helluva has offered is just humor, and I won't lie, 4 years later, it doesn't hold up that good. So the hard part is behind us. Next in line for battle are the most famous series against each other. Who is better? We have our favorite brain rot, Hazbin Hotel, with the method of presenting as much content as possible, and in the other corner, the amazing digital circus that swept the entire internet with its unique animation and premise, and after a long analysis, I have to give it to Hazbin, but it's because the way both series are built. The amazing digital circus doesn't want to show everything there is in one episode, unlike Hazbin that is story, action and sound can make the amazing digital circus fill without content. And let me get this out of the way, Saena does not go to the next level. And now to the main event. What is the true best pilot win in the animation? We have two shows that are very similar to each other in the idea of presenting as much content as possible, but with a different perspective, because Hazbin present in a more lightened up way to the seriousness in comparison of Lackadaisy's. The memorable characters, the interesting world, the amazing soundtrack are both common in both series, but the tone problems and the superior animation close the debate and answer the question that started the video. The best pilot, in my opinion, is Lackadaisy's. Okay, bye.